AMC just came out with a new series called Pantheon that I think is a real example of how great animation for adults could be. Animation for adults is something that is a bit weird and complex in America, with most shows developed for adults being very strongly modeled after groundbreaking shows in each era, such as Family Guy before and Rick and Morty in the era we are in now. Standing in opposition to this is the new show from AMC, Pantheon, a 40-minute animated series for adults that uses a more serious art style than we often get in the West, and a stronger emphasis on embracing animation as an art form while still being modern and digital. In this way, Pantheon is much more like the Amazon series Invincible, a 40-minute episode series that deconstructs the DC universe and the superhero genre as a whole. Pantheon also has a source material, though it is a lot lesser known in the form of its anthology book series, making the show not just unique in its own right, but drawing what little inspiration it needs from something a lot more refreshing than just the superhero genre. My name is Deepcut. Hit that subscribe button if you want more Pantheon content as the show continues, and let's talk about this unique new show. But be warned, there will be some spoilers for the first 2 episodes ahead. For those who haven't seen the show yet, the first episode is available for free right here on YouTube, and I'll put a link to it in the description down below, or you can click right up here in the corner. The show is a sci-fi drama that focuses heavily on the uploading of human consciousness to a digital form so that humans can continue to exist. The 2-part series premiere opens with the story of Maddie, a teenage girl who has recently switched schools and started a new life after her father unfortunately passed away. He's a tech head, and so is she, and her relationship with her mother is strained, and tech is something of an issue between them. At her new school, Maddie is being bullied and then gets harassed online. She ends up talking to an anonymous user who speaks only in emojis, a user who seems to know everything about her, but unlike the classmates harassing her, this anonymous user seems to be on her side. The next day, all the bully girls become the bullied girls when the anonymous friend hacks their phones and exposes their secrets, with each girl blaming one of their friends for it and none of them having much time for Maddie. It becomes evident fast that this anonymous helper is actually Maddie's dead father. Before dying, he worked for a business trying to upload human brains, or what they call uploaded intelligence. The experiments had a good start, but failed when it came time to replicate dead human brains, as seeing the brain actually working is what helped the program simulate the way the brain actually works. With Maddie's father already sick, he considers himself to have his brain used, but the process would end his life even earlier, scanning his brain by taking it apart piece by piece and recreating it. While this technology could change in the future of the show, it creates a limit where a human cannot be cloned digitally and still live. Thus, he would still not be able to interact with his digital self, calling into question if this digital version could, in some sense, inherit the true nature it was copied so perfectly from. Maddie's mother is opposed to this from the start and has very low opinions of uploaded intelligence. She likes the idea of how it could be used perhaps, but not to try to actually replace people or give them a continued human-like existence, as she does not see them as actually being a continuation of that person. Maddie's father David ended up having a scan, but it was supposed to have failed from what Maddie's mother learned, and she believed herself to have destroyed the technological remains of the experiment. Here in the present, however, David's former business and lab partner reveals that they did have a more successful upload and sectioned off part of his digital brain to keep writing codes to help finish their full upload technology. According to him, this small part of David managed to grow digitally, restructure some of its memories, and slowly start to rebuild its identity as David. He would then go on to find ways to reach out to its daughter Maddie through the web. Episode 2 ends with Maddie managing to steal back her father's digital brain scan, with plans to make it so she and her digital father can meet. The show is building up a narrative around what makes a soul, and asks what would happen if we could replicate someone so perfectly that we could not distinguish them from their living self, the version of them we believe to be the real them with a soul. It poses some questions about what David digitally recreating himself really means. Maddie says that her dad called the human brain the most advanced computer to ever be made. If a soul exists, if it is channeled through the human brain, could a mechanical brain and a digital mind somehow simulate whatever the human brain does to have a human soul act through it? The show introduces this and other interesting themes very early on, with the actual first scene in episode 1 being a classroom lecture on the similarities of various early mythologies and their creation myths. These myths had very similar themes, the most important for the show being gods being defeated by their lesser but still godlike children, and humans perhaps destroying those lesser godlike beings after them. This sets up the idea of a digital human society eventually turning on the physical humans who created them. David, as a digital human, already has the power to hack phones, send information, and interfere with the lives of many people, all just to get back at some of his daughter's bullies. With more digital brains and more options for exploitation explored, it would be easy for digital humans to secure some level of safety for themselves, and then launch digital attacks to destroy all physical humans. The possibilities are endless, what with its apocalyptic source material, and I can't wait to see where it goes with new episodes every week. Alongside all of this drama with Maddie, her digital daddy, and her mother, there is a B-plot following a depressed teenage hacker boy. He also starts getting messages from a digital intelligence, and through various plots, actually ends up helping Maddie get her father back by the end of episode 2. His serious tone is a lot of fun, and I absolutely loved watching his life unravel as we get revelation after revelation about the people who surround him, and what he's really doing here. But for those who have not seen it, this is not something I'm going to spoil in this video. While I did go pretty deep into the story of Maddie, part of the reason they wanted a 2-part premiere is that the story of her getting to her father is really just seeming to set up the series as a whole, and is less spoiler information than is just the basic premise you'd get from a trailer. That being said, I plan to talk about the plot at length and in depth, with a lot of examination of different history and myths as discussed in the show already, assuming you guys like it as much as I do and want to see more content about it. The first episode is available for free on YouTube for those who still haven't seen it but want to take a look. To watch future episodes, you'll have to get a subscription to AMC Plus, or check it out with an AMC Plus subscription through Amazon Prime Video. It's a show I hope a lot of people will at least give a chance, even if it's not the kind of animation they normally want, because of just how different it is from everything coming out right now. Let me know how you guys feel about the show so far in the comments down below, and if you want to talk to me and other fans about Pantheon, come on down to our Cartoon Universe Discord server. Links are in the pinned comment down below. There's a lot of different channels for a lot of different cartoons, so make sure you ask for the big kids role, because that's the only way to get to see certain adult shows like Pantheon. See you guys next time.